This leveraged risk parity mix looks attractive because the live BestFolio catalog shows 14.3% annual growth over about 40 years. But the first number I care about is the drawdown, negative 68.5%. If you cannot survive that number, the return is just decoration. In this video, I'm going to show the rule, the growth curve, the worst hole, and the kind of investor who should probably walk away. Most investors compare strategies by annual return and stop there. That is backwards. The strategy has to be held through bad years, noisy recoveries, and periods where something simpler looks better. This is the canonical leveraged portfolio lane, strong return, terrifying path, and a drawdown that must be shown next to the compound annual growth rate. The real question is not whether the backtest looks impressive. The real question is whether the strategy gives you a reason to keep following it when the chart turns ugly. This leveraged risk parity mix is a rules-based portfolio. The backtest covers 1986 to 2026. The leverage is the point and the danger. A high compound return is meaningless if the drawdown makes you quit. The important thing is that the rules are explicit enough to inspect, compare, and criticize. I like that because vague portfolio stories are easy to sell. Mechanical rules are harder to hide from. They either survive the data or they do not. Here are the current BestFolio numbers. Annual return is 14.3%. The worst drawdown is negative 68.5%. The Sharpe ratio is 0.69. Volatility is 27.6%. The United States stock benchmark has a worse drawdown, around negative 55.5%. So the path matters as much as the headline return. The drawdown stays on screen because it is the number most videos quietly minimize. If you start with $100, the strategy ends near $21.4 thousand in this reconstruction. The exact path is not a straight line. There are long quiet stretches, sudden drops, and years where the boring benchmark looks smarter. That is why I show the drawdown beside the growth curve. A final balance can make a strategy look inevitable. The year-by-year path shows how many chances you had to abandon it. The rule set is simple enough to say out loud: hold a leveraged United States stock sleeve. Hold a long duration. Treasury sleeve through ZROZ. Hold gold as the diversifier. Rebalance on a fixed schedule instead of forecasting. That simplicity is important. A portfolio rule should be explainable before it is trusted. If the edge only works when it is described with 20 moving parts, I assume the backtest is doing too much of the selling. Here, the mechanism is visible, so the trade-off is visible too. Now the honest part. The drawdown is enormous. A high compound annual growth rate does not matter if you sell after losing 2/3. Rate shocks hurt, leveraged stocks and long bonds can fall together. Path dependency is real, daily leverage can decay in volatile markets. Rebalancing is emotionally hard. The rule asks you to buy what just hurt you. These caveats are not footnotes. They are the price of admission. Sometimes the cost is lower return, sometimes it is a deeper loss. Sometimes it is missing a rebound or looking wrong for years. The stress test is the maximum drawdown. For this leveraged risk parity mix, that number is negative 68.5%. For the broad United States stock benchmark, the live catalog shows about negative 55.5%. Smaller is better, but smaller does not mean painless. A drawdown is not an abstract statistic when it is your account. It is the moment where the strategy has to justify why you should keep going. This is for aggressive investors who understand leveraged exchange-traded funds, people who can size a strategy small enough to survive the crash, leveraged exchange-traded fund viewers who want the downside shown as loudly as the return. It is not for someone who only wants the biggest possible number on a backtest table. The right user is the person whose temperament matches the failure mode. If the worst drawdown would make you sell, the strategy is too aggressive no matter how good the ending looks. You can inspect this leveraged risk parity mix on BestFolio, compare it against the rest of the strategy library, and see the same annual return, Sharpe ratio, volatility, and maximum drawdown in one place. Use the link in the description before trusting any headline return. Subscribe for more strategy research, where the upside and the ugly parts stay on screen together.